Hello there. My name's Mark, and this is episode 51 of the Holocron Chronicles. I'm joined, as always, by my trusty co-pilot, back from the dead, Charlie Carden. Charlie, how you doing today?
I arose on the third day like Jesus or Obi-Wan Kenobi or however you want to play that one. I know I'm going to hell. Look for me by the water cooler. Oh, no, I'm doing good. Yeah, no, I had the crunk. I had the space virus. I slipped in the back to tank yesterday, and now I am back at it, ready to talk about some Star Wars. I'm doing good.
Perfect. Great to have you. That you're feeling better. I'm glad to hear it. And we are joined for the fourth time returning to this show. Hasn't been here since April. It has been far too long. We have the one, the only, the GOAT, Mr. Okiro. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good. Right now, I have a shaved Ewok in the oven, so we're going to play a little Russian roulette. If the podcast can finish before I burn down the entire apartment complex, let's hope I can save it.
The entire apartment complex.
Entire apartment
maybe
complex.
Not your section. That'd be okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to save it until it's over, so if you hear any burning and sindering, it's just the Ewok.
Perfect.
That's okay.
I'm glad
That's
you
all
shaved
right.
it first. I needed that because no one likes the smell of burnt hair.
No,
Exactly.
and I don't like hair in my mouth.
It's more flammable. It's bad stuff.
Screaming Ewoks shoved into an oven, fine, just as long as there's no hair.
There's not hairy. I made out with Chewbacca enough, and that the hairy taste in my tongue, it didn't add up. I don't know how JJ made out with him.
It's not a flavor to savor. I don't think so. But hey, I'm curious, since he's a fourth-time guest, when he comes back again, is it going to become like an SNL tradition where we have a Five Timers Club? Does he get a jacket? Is it like a Nehru jacket? Is it made out of what? I think it'll be made out of Ewok hair. Start saving that Ewok hair, because we're going to need to mass producing these jackets when we start bringing back all these people that want to hang with us. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
you can be the first. You can be responsible for making your own Ewok jacket then. So yeah,
okay. Would it count as like animal cruelty or breaking the Geneva Convention, skinning a native life from an alien world?
I mean, you've already done it. So isn't are we kind of over the hump on that one, so to speak? I mean, Ewoks don't have humps, but I digress.
I mean, they do have kids, so I'm guessing they have a little hump.
I'm sure it's crossing some sort of line.
Ewok swerve.
But if you're looking to shave your Ewok, you can go to manscaped.com and use the code SFU for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you very much. Thank you for Manscaped for sponsoring Holocron Chronicles and the Secret Friends Network. We're going to tell you a little bit more about them a little later on. If you're listening to this podcast, you can also go see our faces and all this shenanigans over on YouTube. Please subscribe. We're trying to grow our numbers over there. And it's just fun to see all the Secret Friends Unite stuff all in one, and there's some extra bonus content like some unboxings and stuff that happen over there as well. So go give us a like and little thumbs up and subscribe, whatever. Hit the little bell to know when new episodes drop. But with all that out of the way, let's jump into this. Okiro, it's been, like we said, a little while since you've been on. We've done your Star Wars. Yeah, we've done your Star Wars origin story before. But there's a few new questions that we ask people that I want to ask you first, because you haven't answered them before, and then we'll get into a little bit of what's new with you. But first off, if you were granted a lightsaber, what color lightsaber would you choose?
Oh, without a doubt, green. I'm going straight for the Luke Skywalker color. I am a Luke Skywalker simp, apologist, whatever you want to call it. I'm going right for the big Papa Daddy Mark Hamill's color.
Hell yes.
It's the one he made. Now, I have a question about thinking about that green color. Did I read somewhere recently, canonically, non-canonically weird fan theory, that the only way Luke could get his hand on that green kyber crystal is because for some reason Obi-Wan had in his possession in his little footlocker memento kit Qui-Gon's lightsaber, which had a green crystal. Where else did he get it?
That actually is from theory. Legends. I think that was actually in Legends, though.
It was actually, okay.
Yeah, new canon, I have no idea. There was a couple rumors about it.
that's what they're covering. I mean, new canon right now is between Empire and Jedi, and it's been several months since I've tuned back in. And I know that Luke acquired a yellow Guardian saber from a temple that he's been using in between. Obviously, at some point, and it's canonical. At some point, he's going to lose that and get a green one, or is he going to take the crystal from that and somehow force it to be green? I know you can force a crystal become red because that's what the Sith do, but I don't know. Now we're way too inside baseball, but my neuron fired on that one, and I was curious.
See, that's an interesting bit because lightsabers and kyber crystals, I guess by extension, would canonically kind of tune to the person, right? Like that's kind of the explanation of why there's different colors.
The choosing that happens when the younglings, when they visit Ilum, or they did visit Ilum, which is Star Killer base, sorry, because that's where all the crystals are. But yeah, you're right, they're drawn to it. It's kind of, like, oh, this one, it's like the wands in Harry Potter. This one spoke to me, and it called to me in a certain direction. So, and yes,
we saw Ahsoka's, unless he swapped out the crystals, we saw Ahsoka's blades turn blue when they were in Anakin's possession. In Clone Wars, he said they got improved. He lit them up. They were blue. They spent a little bit too much time with him. So it's unless she's swapping crystals and then they went white, maybe kind of or that was. I think that's
when it came to the white one, she purified. Yeah, she purified them.
So you put them in a rinse like a golf ball washer?
Just bleach.
Basically, she bleached the crystal. She bleached them.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Put them in with the wash, a little bit too much bleach, a little bit too much fabric softener. That's a mess. Jedi laundry tales. All right, this is my fault, so I'm going to turn that right back to you.
You know what? If there's a lightsaber expert out there that knows all of this, what's in canon, what's in legends, want to explain it, drop me a line. Come on the show and explain things to us. Because I'd love another excuse. We've talked about lightsabers before and saw Joe Moran's collection and talked a few, but I'd love a lightsaber episode. That'd be awesome. All right, Okiro, last question that I have. There's only 2 right now. So favorite affiliation, if you could hang with a group in Star Wars, Jedi, bounty hunters, Sith, rebels, Ewoks, shaved or unshaved, whatever, who are you hanging with? What's your vibe?
Unshaved Ewoks.
I'm going to be honest. If I had to choose anyone, it would probably be the Ghost Crew from Rebels. Ooh, they're pretty chill. They're a good family. And, unlike every other group, won't end up getting me killed in some religious war or killing me themselves.
Everybody does seem, every other gang that's out there, if you look at the Falcon crew or you look at the Rogue One crew, everybody seems to be just a little uptight. There is just not enough chill to go around at all. Everybody, somebody's got an attitude problem, bouncing off each other. They can't get along. And
I'm sorry to interrupt. Hondo, absolutely Hondo.
I was just going to say,
every day, all day.
If you're looking for chill, Hondo and the space pirates, man. You want to be a pirate Jedi? Yes, I do. Let's drink some rum and have some swashbuckling good times in space.
Oh yeah, just all day Hondo. And as he just recounts this cough syrup like tale of the galaxy's advance, it is perfect. Just perfect.
Yes. We were talking before we started recording about Galaxy's Edge, and that was the highlight for me. I walked in, I saw Hondo, real life Hondo, talking to me about the Falcon, and I just lost it. I was just no one else in the room was freaking out. I'm like, it's freaking Hondo. Show some respect. And everyone else is whatever. There's is that R2-D2? I'm like, no. It's anyway. Yeah. So that's awesome answer. So in general, Okiro, what's new? What have you been up to?
For some reason my connection dropped for a second. What'd you say?
Oh yeah, no worries. Sorry, yeah. What's new in your world? What have you been up to?
Ooh. Okay, I've been up to a lot of things. I've been up to a lot of things. First thing I was doing in October and most of November, I've been playing my own podcast because I was inspired by you guys.
Who, us?
Yes, you guys.
You can't be serious.
Absolutely. And we actually got a name for it. It's going to be A Song of Swords and Stars.
Ooh.
Go into
All right,
detail,
so
fantasy and sci-fi.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like you're going a little like Game of Thrones fantasy mixed with some sci-fi stuff. That's exciting.
Yeah. Right now, the only thing I have left to do is just decide if it's going to be on my channel, if I'm going to make a second channel for it, because probably
Mm.
lots of people who come to my channel for the video essays don't want to see podcasts. So it all depends, but separating the channel is always a giant risk because you're splitting the views.
Right, and you have a built-in collection of people on your channel who are familiar with your stuff, and you're starting a new channel, you're starting from scratch, right? Like you can cross promote some stuff, but yeah, that's always a tough call.
Yeah, starting from zero. They're used to my lore anyway. We have this one lore on my channel called Frank the FBI Agent, who just like judges every decision I make as a creator. And for some reason right now we have this running joke about feet, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of disgusting me personally. Yeah, I don't like feet. I don't know how people do it. I'm not kink shaming guys, not kink shaming anyone, but
No, you're not the first. I have a friend who's just a feet. Ooh, yeah, I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's me. Straight up across.
Yeah,
straight up.
I
gotcha.
Yeah, I gotta. They don't. Again, not kink shaming, but they don't really do anything for me either way. Any indication when the podcast is going to drop? You sound like you're close. You're
oh yeah, January.
January. Okay.
Everything's already done on my end. It was just deciding what channel it's going to be on. So probably January it's going to drop. I have basically everything done. Amazing. I got the formatting. I got the software. I got a new mic coming in next month. So awesome. Really all depends. I'm trying to slowly gather people in. You guys are right on the list. I'm going to kidnap you. I'm not even going to ask you. I'm just saying, okay, one day we're just going to do it. I'm going to be under both of your beds at the same time simultaneously.
Uh-oh.
I'm in.
Sneak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very welcome. Yep. That's awesome, man. I can't wait. This is exciting stuff. Are you doing weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
Weekly.
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 Oh,
weekly.
Lots of Okiro in our future.
Yeah, no, I've been working basically this whole fall. I've just been working on stuff to be a full-time content creator. So it means like I was taking some time off just because I was experimenting on videos, styles of delivering videos, the podcast. I've been behind the scenes collaborating with some people. So December and all next year, just lots and lots of new videos, lots of new content. Start streaming games and all that. Even start showing my face for some stuff, especially the podcast.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah,
exciting.
They like it.
I was just lazy about not showing my face. There is no webcam on this thing. And they keep saying, I'm going to buy a webcam. And then the months pass. I'm like, oh, there's still no webcam here.
You know what? It just broke this one out. I have a new webcam just last few episodes. And I think it's a tremendous improvement myself. And it wasn't expensive. So yeah, it gets my vote.
Oh, nice. It's just laziness for me. I don't feel like going to the nearest electronic shop or Amazon. I'll go out of my way for a burrito, but not for a new webcam.
I get it.
I
begrudgingly bought one. Kind of, I was like, it's a webcam. There's one like built into my laptop. It's fine. It looks like a potato, but it's fine. But
you're a handsome guy. Look at you. You got the strong jaw. You got the very oiled up, nice facial hair. You looking good. Webcam works for you.
I did put some beard oil in today. Thank you for noticing. Anyone listening to the audio, see what you're missing? This is the stuff.
This is great radio.
Pretty
this
good.
is why you guys should subscribe to your YouTube channel to see these beautiful faces. You guys are missing out.
And soon see yours. That is so exciting, man. I'm super excited. For all of this. Any other stuff? I mean, that's pretty big bombshell. But anything else new with you that you want to?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be in the UK from like March to June.
Wow.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm going to be working on this production. I'm not legally allowed to talk about it yet, but yeah, I'll be there from March till June.
Holy!
Oh my goodness,
that's exciting.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is there are swords in the production. That's all I can say.
Swords.
Okay.
Swords. Yeah.
All right.
Fascinating.
Is that? Are you going to be there for Celebration? When's that drop?
Yeah, no, I'll be there for Celebration.
Wow. Yeah, what's that, May? Yeah.
I think it's May or April.
Fantastic.
I'm not really sure.
Nice. Awesome.
No, I'll be there though.
That is super exciting. Get up in Peanuts territory.
Oh no, we've already talked about hanging out. I
Perfect.
adore that woman. She is perfection.
Absolutely one of the greatest. I've been trying to collaborate with her and try to figure out a time to get her back on the show, but I was away for a weekend, and with like Thanksgiving coming up for you guys, like it's tough
Yeah.
because like right now, like we're recording, it's 10 p.m. for me, it's 9 for you, it's but over there it's like 2-3 in the morning or something for her right now,
Right,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah,
our
I have
usual
a
recording time's rough.
we have someone who we collaborate, and it's been a while that we've worked with on SFU, who's over in Japan. So her husband is in the Marine Corps, he's a Marine Corps band, and so we'll get her. It'll be 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and it's been a couple of years gone by. I really want to get her on Code 47 someday.
We got to figure it out. I was talking to her the last couple of days. I just read something that she wrote and kind of shared around some snippets and stuff. But yeah, very exciting stuff. You guys are. I love this Star Wars community. I don't know if, like I saw a lot of people this week moving over to Hive. I
I'm
don't
not going
know if
there.
are you sticking to Twitter right now? Is that
I'm gonna be till on Twitter till the lights go off. I mean, no offense to anyone who's gone to
Same.
Hive. It's just I've done a little research actually into the app. I can send you guys the information.
yeah.
Forbes and a lot of other people have done some research into it. And like, it's a very new app by some people who are kind of green behind the ears, and I'm like, I
Mm,
don't really feel like trusting a new app that doesn't really have. There's no way to turn off their DMs. There's a lot of bugs. I'm like, I'm good with Twitter. My platform's on Twitter. I can't. The more you divide your platform, the more scattered you are. Right now,
Yeah,
Twitter has had the highest engagement it's had in a
mm,
long time. So
for
I'm
better
gonna
for
stick
worse, I'm sure.
for better
Yeah,
for worse. Yeah, I'm gonna stick there.
yeah.
I'm gonna stick there.
Yeah, I mean, I registered with Hive as well, but I threw myself into Twitter. I'd like to stay there. We've been doing more stuff with Discord, with the fan club chapter for Star Trek that I run. We've been having
yeah.
like crazy explosion good. So yeah, so Twitter and Discord is kind of where I'm feeling these days. But I mean, that can
Yeah.
change too.
Definitely don't plan on deleting Twitter, but Hive, I'm digging Hive. It's kind of got a really fun vibe to it, and there's like a small group of the Star Wars Twitter community, kind of like over there, kind of exploring things. So it's definitely buggy though. It's not like main stage ready, but like they're onto something. They're onto something. I hope they keep working and growing the team. But anyway, let's jump into some news. Um,
There's a lot
Bob
of news,
Iger.
especially this week.
This is some different kind of news. Bob Iger surprisingly just came back to Disney. Bob Chapek is instantly out, and I basically just want to know how you guys feel, if you feel anything at all, or
I have strong
does
feelings
this
about
matter?
this.
Okay,
Well, I'll
let's
get
let's
it out.
hear them. Let's go.
I
Let
was
him
gonna say,
go first.
no, I'll make it easy for you. Is that I just don't have any feelings. Mark, you had to come in and say, well, this other Bob, he was cutting this thing and that thing, and he was, making things more difficult for people who work at the park and cutting benefits and hours and all this different stuff. And I'm like, well, the guy sounds like an asshole, so it's a good thing that he's gone. Other than that, I don't have an opinion. So, Okiro, by all means, be strong, strongly it, strongish.
My feelings about Iger coming back is I have a very complicated relationship with how I feel about Iger. Meanwhile, the guy doesn't even know who I am, and if he does, it's a very bad sign of my future. I'll probably disappear in a black van. But
I hope not.
Chapek, what most people kind of forget is Chapek has actually only been in charge of Disney this year.
11
Ev-
months.
yes,
Okay.
technically since like February or March, because Iger was still there in the transitionary period.
Yes.
And basically everything we've had for like the last 10 years, at least in Star Wars 10 years, the last 2 years, that's all been Iger. So phase 4, the park cuts, everything, it was just Iger, and Chapek was just, well, okay, he put it in place. It's only recently, like in the last 11 months, we've gotten anything from Chapek. And to be reasonable, I wasn't really against a lot of the things he did. He was, okay, well, we're going to stay away from the creative side and let Marvel and Star Wars do what they want to do. And we got Andor from that. We've gotten Wakanda Forever for that. We got a lot of things that did not really have the same creative differences Disney kind of suffered from in the late 2010s.
Like
And
Solo.
Like
Solo's a
Solo,
great
like
example.
The
Yeah.
Force Awakens, like Rogue One. Tony Gilroy recently came out and said, "Yeah, we just had to recreate the entire movie during post production and reshoots." I'm like, "Oh, that's not really a good
Wow.
thing." And the whole thing about Iger rushing the movies, then canceling the movies because of Solo, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought this Iger coming back is a complete wild card. Now we can either go back to what Disney was while Iger was there the first time, which was lots of live action Disney remakes, lots of productions getting rushed. But I think Iger coming back is Disney being very desperate to get things back on track. I don't know how much you guys have been keeping up with how Disney Plus has been doing, but according to Disney, as of this year, they are still losing billions when it comes to Disney Plus, and they're still not making a profit. So in that regard, Iger's probably here like, okay, we need to figure out how we can make money and what's not making money and do something about that. And again, this is what Iger is good at. He is, for better or worse, he's the profit guy. Chapek was kind of the guy who came in just to cut costs where he can, because again, inflation, the end of the world, all that fun stuff that happened in 2020. That's his job.
Oh, yeah.
Iger's coming back like, okay, we need something more Jurassic, and Iger is anything of the Jurassic guy. He got the Fox merger, he got Lucasfilm itself, so I think that's what he's back here for better or worse. Will it make things better? I'm not sure. I'm a little weary just because his personal track record.
Right.
Like, as much as people don't like Chapek's feelings on, oh, well, I'm not very crazy about animation, neither was Iger. That's why we got the last 10 years of the entire animation catalog getting remade. But Iger also has better PR, and it kind of is better for shareholders and stocks for Disney to have a better appearance publicly, regardless of what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah, I never got and yeah, Iger is whatever. I'm a tiny bit more optimistic maybe than you are, I think, but I'm not like just in spite of the sweater that I'm wearing with Mickey Mouse and drinking out of a Disney World cup right now,
drinking the actual Kool-Aid.
The actual Kool-Aid, yes.
Disney is great. Disney is great. As much as I like to throw shade at Disney, they own the IPs I love. I will one day go to Disney World and cry like a little 3-year-old.
Yeah,
I love Disney. It's the producers,
they will drink
executives.
Drink the dollars of your tears. Give them to me.
Exactly.
Oh, I will be crying. I've heard the prices. I don't know how people do that.
Oh,
I'm crying right now.
That's what makes you cry.
That's not great.
Crying all the way to the bank.
But I never got a sense from watching or listening to Chapek talk that he had the kind of grand vision and feel for the legacy of Disney that Iger had. And like you said, Iger brought in Lucasfilm, brought in Fox, kind of kicked off Disney Plus and set up all these things that it's like, this is the next evolution. This is where we need to be. This is the big picture kind of thing. And Chapek like seemed to be the big problem with, I guess he's the reason that the Black Widow shenanigans kind of went down, because he has absolutely no candor with like or like tact with like stars.
Oh no, that was before him as well. He wasn't dealing with that. He wasn't doing everything involving Marvel. No, see, that's the funny thing. There's so much misinformation about what Chapek did. Like, Chapek has, I'll just say this. Chapek, zero charisma, and he doesn't really have much ambition for Disney. Here's how Chapek views Disney: save money, make money, but there's no ambition to grow, but it's not going to tank either. Basically, serviceable is what Chapek wants. And that was his plan. That's it. Iger, he wants Disney for better or worse, and he's a very ambitious guy, and it's been to the detriment of him, as we can see by a lot of the films getting rushed. Him and the whole falling out with George Lucas. He is a very ambitious guy to the detriment of himself. But it's only, hey, like Hamilton say, you only win the game if you play the game, and that's what Iger was willing to do. He was willing to play the game, and that ambition helped Disney get to where they are now. Did they have some missteps because of that? Yes, And that is kind of a reason why we've had a lot of hiccups even with Iger. Black Widow, Iger. The whole Mulan controversy of, thanking the CCP for filming there, that's Iger as well. The John Boyega situation, Iger. But again, we had a lot of great things too. The Mandalorian, the sequel trilogy, and even if you don't like them, they made the company lots of money, which is what Disney cared about.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Force Awakens is still, to this day, almost a decade later. God, that scares the hell out of me. It's going to be 10 years since TFA. Still, almost 10 years later, highest grossing film domestically of all time, has not been undefeated. That's a lot of money. They almost made back the money they used to buy Lucasfilm. They almost made it back with one film. So
That's
Wow.
With ambition, I can understand why Disney would be like, Iger really put us in a tough spot, but also Iger made us a lot of money, and Chapek is not going to do the things Iger did, so we should probably get him back. I can understand that.
Right.
Because they I don't know if you guys know this, they squeezed Iger in like in the middle of the night. The stock market was closed.
Yeah.
The stock market was closed. You had no choice.
It apparently went down so quick that for that the live streamed Elton John concert that was like live streamed on Disney Plus on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Chapek was supposed to introduce Elton John on stage, caught wind that this was happening, and bailed at the last minute. That is how quick this went down. Like it was just like,
oh yeah,
shit just started to like just go instantly. It was pretty wild, and stuff's still coming out. Like I read another article this morning about like how quick it went down and like who kind of started saying things to the board and who they were listening to and who was on like Chapek's kind of inner circle that they were trying to keep it away from. Like there's so much internal bullshit there that like books are going to be written about this transition. And I should also mention that because we haven't yet, this is a 2-year contract as CEO, and one of his biggest missions is going to be picking, grooming, and training a proper successor, because he, I guess, felt pretty burned by Chapek and the way he handled things and the way he was going about things. So seems like the next person's going to be personally kind of picked by Iger and kind of walked into the role over the next 2 years or however soon they can pick the person.
The Emperor finds his own Darth Vader is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, because ironically, there's a little bit more to that. The shareholders that did, because Iger was brought back, but he doesn't have his old position. He is the CEO, but he isn't chairman anymore.
Not the chairman, right?
No, not the chairman. So basically, it's the board of Disney is looking to Iger as a CEO and as an advisor of what they should do, because kind of as a way to keep both of them in check, because Chapek actually was groomed by Iger. Chapek was his number 2 for years. But again, he was a parks guy. He was a numbers guy. And the board really didn't have a say on if he wasn't going to be in there. Because again, Iger had unlimited power. Now he doesn't have unlimited power. Now he has the CEO and he's a consigliere, an advisor of sorts for Disney. So now the next person. Yes, that's it. Sorry, I'm not Italian. I did not hail from that word.
I just watched The Godfather too many times. Yeah, there you go.
Sadly, I was not born of that. I think I was still swimming around my dad's fuzzy dice. That's why you guys should get Manscaped, so they're not fuzzy.
And that's funny, because I got fuzzy dice to talk about in a minute here as soon as we wrap this deal up. But I want to precede it.
Yeah, but basically, Iger is brought back to have a smoother transitionary period because Chapek came in the middle of COVID. He wasn't Iger's best pick. Iger realized that, and Iger himself, I think he has become more reflective of himself as a person. I actually got a video coming out tomorrow on my channel about this entire situation, about Chapek, about Iger, and what this means financially and legally for Disney. Once we're done, I'll actually talk to you guys about this, because there's one thing that's might be kind of big. But I don't want to go. I don't want to go on record on it yet.
Good enough. We'll wait to see the video and see what comes from that. Awesome.
Okay.
Fuzzy dice.
Fuzzy dice. Hey, is it time to talk about fuzzy dice, Mark?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Well, friends, support for Secret Friends Unite is brought to you by Manscaped, as we have mentioned, call it the fuzzy dice provider. They are the best in men's below the waist grooming. Their products, precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with its exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code SFU at manscaped.com. Now, Mark, I'm no math whiz, but when I crunch the numbers on this one, that's about 12 million balls. Think about it. Don't think
correct.
about it.
Please don't say the word
conceptualize it as some fuzzy dice. Crunching, but whoa, hold on now. I didn't say about crunching balls, but whatever it takes, manscaped.com, use that code SFU for 20% off. Mark, you and I have been enjoying this product for several weeks. I've trimmed up all over, pit, speck, my neck, downstairs, what have you. Everything's smooth, no nicks. Very, very happy with performance.
It's been a very pleasant experience. I'm a fan for sure, and I do have to add, right now they're having a site-wide sale for Black Friday. So it's starting on the 25th as you're listening to this. It's a couple of days away and running through Cyber Monday. So all weekend you're going to have additional sales running on manscaped.com. And of course you can still use our promo code as well and kind of see where the great deals are. So yeah, it's a great holiday item. Like I was thinking about getting even some like my dad, like a ear and nose hair trimmer, because I'm loving that one.
Actually, I might get that for my dad as well, and it won't be spoiled
right,
because there's no way he would ever listen to any of this stuff. So that is, I think I might do that.
It's not
because my dad's old; he's in his 70s, ear hair out of control. I'm sure, nose hair out of control. Yeah. I don't look, but you know what? I think that'd be a great gift for him. You just gave me a great idea.
You need that weed whacker, and I mean, if you're looking, if you're looking for a gift for someone you're a little bit more comfortable with, you could go with the lawnmower. But I'm not gonna hand something to my dad and be like, "Here, this is for your balls." That's
I definitely am. I'm going to actually order this when we're done.
Okay, all right.
Give me that code. Here, Dad. Here's for the family jewels. I came out of them. Please make them smoother.
What was that code again? The code was
SFU.
There you go.
There we go. All right. Well, 20% off and free shipping. Thank you, manscaped.com. All right. So let's move on to the meat of the episode. We are at this time of recording a few hours away from the debut of the finale of Andor season 1. But right now we're going to recap. We're going to get caught back up on episodes 10 and 11 and talk about how gutting they were. Overall, what did you guys think? I said last time, like, this is what I've been waiting for. Some big thing that happened, the big action point, prison break, whatever it was going to be. Right. This is I was getting pretty pumped, and I'll share my thoughts, but I want to hear from you guys. What do you think overall of this bit of the episode arc? Okiro, let's start with you.
The funny thing is about me and Andor, I've had like usual, I have always a complicated relationship with things. I've liked how it looked, I've liked how it's acted, but I can't really say I was invested in anything that was happening. But Andy Serkis, from his first scene till his spoiler, the second he said, "I can't swim."
Can't swim.
Oh, you made me emotionally invested in. You made me emotionally invested in Human Snoke. How the fuck did you do this? Mm-hmm. It was very good. I've always had these two opinions. The best part of Andor is Skarsgård and now Serkis. Those have been the standout characters where I'm like, this is impeccable. Like, if I could have just spin-offs of these characters, I would love it. I would actually love it. It was well done. It was well shot. And once again, Andy, he is impeccable. He is a fine actor, fine director, and he got me in the gut. He really did.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can't swim was just, yeah.
It was such a wine.
Just jump.
What? Say what?
It was for me, I was just like, when he said can't swim, I was like, just jump. I'll carry you. I can't swim. Gotta swim.
I can't swim either. I would be him. That was the most relatable Star Wars character for me.
Grab me by the ankles.
Your ass. Let's go.
there was so much wind up to, like Okiro said, getting to a point where so much greatness going on. Are we really invested? Those first 3 episodes were like chug, 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 get me somewhere, chug, chug, chug. And then, you got Andor getting involved with the gang, with the heist, and that was a tie back to Mon Mothma, and you're watching what she's doing, and it's just a bing, 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 and then you're watching what Luthien's doing and his double-sided thing, but just the speech, that interchange at the end of episode 10 between him and the Imperial spy, and saying, "Look, my life is for naught. It's flushed down the toilet anyway. I've known for 2 years that nothing's ever going to be right for me. I wake up every day with this singular purpose and the singular understanding that I will die for this. There's no way out for me. There's no way out for you. So we have to play our parts." And his, in the chess he plays, talking to Saw Gerrera, don't be stupid. Don't threaten me. Why would I tell you that? Why would it, just, oh, wow. These last 2 episodes. I know. And I actually did, I would tell Mark earlier this evening, I did watch them again because sometimes I'll get so busy doing this and I'm traveling. My wife and I are watching a show together. But she was off doing, working on her small business stuff. So I sat and I crunched these last 2 episodes right at the end of the workday and just blown away by Skarsgård's performance and just the resoundedlessness, how resigned he is to his destiny. His life is over, and the life of this, ISB dude that is his spy is over. They're trapped. They're locked in. They're the two. The Zing and the Yin and the Yang locked in mortal combat.
I love that line. I burn my life to make a sunrise that I know I'll never see. Like, just
right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
Not to plug Hamilton again. My favorite line in the Hamilton musical. What is a legacy? It's playing seeds in the garden you'll never get to see.
Yep.
Right.
Very much similar vibes.
Very, very intense. And we watched that first episode. The mother is ailing. She dies. The word obviously starts to trickle out as the ISB is molding and twisting the information, making sure that it gets back to Andor. Because now did they know the prison break obviously happened in episode 10, and this is the thing that blew my mind about the person the whole time. I have perpetually super cold feet no matter where I am. Like right now I'm wearing slippers and 2 pair of socks sitting here in my dining room recording this show. How do these guys, first of all, be in that prison, not have any shoes, then jump into the water, not have any shoes? I mean, unless that planet was like basically like on the surface of the sun, lose Tahiti or something, and then running around climbing rocks and stuff, that they didn't lose their feet. That's the suspension of disbelief I can't deal with in this show. Is how are those guys not get gangrene and have to lop their own feet off just walking along on pegs?
Yeah, how do they do
swim
that?
with shoes on, Charlie?
No, I'm not even talking about that part. I'm talking about when they're on land.
The rock climbing, I was like, oh, that's rough.
Yeah, or how are they running anywhere?
Yeah.
And then I love that the weird talking aliens that nab them. Those are the first. We've not seen a lot of true Star Wars-ish kind of alien characters.
No, barely any of them.
Those guys were the first. And I know the captions mentioned their species, but I'm drawing a blank on it. It was something new. I thought it was something new that we had seen before. It felt that way. So kind of weird. Like on the Mon Mothma tip, her daughter is really getting into like this group tradition thing. But in the episode before, the creepy dude was coming around saying, "I really want to buy your daughter," or whatever it is to remind me of John Belushi and the restaurant in Blues Brothers. "Sell me your children." It's creepy as shit, you know what I mean? While she's trying to find a way to fund her, her rebel ambitions. Oh, I hate to give that quote because it's in a good way this time instead of a super corny way. Rick McCallum back during the prequels always had this expression, "Oh man, every frame that happens, there's so much going on." And he was like the press secretary for George making terrible things. Sorry for anybody who loves prequels, but like trying to convince us that not great acting was okay because Jar Jar was over in a corner here or whatever it is. But in this show,
I'm in your walls.
there's so much going on. Yes, exactly. There's so much going on in every frame, from the speech to the very crowd pleasing last 5 to 7 minutes of the 11th episode where Luthen is escaping and he trashes that Imperial frigate and he's got a ship with the flipping laser beams and all this different stuff. That was very pure Star Wars, but it's sandwiched around so much core, unbelievable great delivery of this concept of what's to come and what the rebellion really means to the downtrodden, to the people who are in prisons building widgets and turning a wheel and getting electrocuted, or well, we don't want anybody to know anything's wrong, so let's kill these 2,000 people so they don't talk, or the ISB in their little meetings about, well, we're going to have to blow away all these people in this system so this thing doesn't happen. That regimes, and obviously our world, are absolutely based around that. The Nazis were based around that. That's what's so terrifying about everything that happens with the Empire in this. It's just, it's a lot deep. Yeah. It's deeper the further it goes in, you know what I mean? So, and we know that this is going to end with, I'm sure, some kind of blowout or theatrics that's going to happen in the episode this week to wrap it up. And then we know that season 2 is going to jump us 4 or 5 years in the future. So Cassian, well, all the threads will come together. Saw and Mon Mothma and Luthien will, I'm sure, die, which is why I've never heard. Or maybe he'll be back, but he'll die at the end of the series. I don't know. We don't see him again. How it's all going to come together, I have no clue. But these were the 2 best episodes I think we've had so far.
I'll agree with that. Okiro, how'd you feel about where these episodes stand?
No, best so far as well. I would say, well, the best of the best, I still think, are the first 3 episodes. But in terms of everything we've had so far, this recent prison arc was the highlight of the show.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. It feels like we could have picked up here, I think. And it might tie in. And I've said this for different Star Wars shows and to varying degrees of success, where something feels like a filler and then they tie it back in at some point and it all makes sense or whatever. But it feels like we could have picked up Andor was wrongly arrested, because him ending up in prison had nothing to do with anything really that happened. It could have just been kind of written that he just he went for a walk on the beach. He was arrested because he was sweaty and they thought he was part of this other thing. And, that could have been it. This could have been the arc, right? Aside from the manifesto, really, I don't know if anything from the earlier stuff is going to really affect him in terms of where this season ends. But anyway, we will see that. Aside from Luthen, which also, okay, I gotta take an aside here. What is Luthen? There's been some hints. He looked like he was kind of carrying some sort of lightsaber-esque device when he met Saw. He's had some kyber crystals. He has some really interesting Jedi artifacts. Is he a guardian of the Wills? Is he a Jedi hiding in plain sight that's just really, really good at deception? What the hell is this man? Any theories?
I wouldn't say he'd be a Jedi, especially not being on Coruscant, because that would be...
But that's it. You hide. He's hiding. He's so good at deception with his wigs, his mannerisms. He basically can change his face in front of a mirror while you're looking at him. And he does that Willem Dafoe-esque kind of thing of Goblin. And you see Green Goblin talk to Norman Osborn and
with the mirror.
But that was all done in real time. They filmed that, and that's how good he is, that he looks like 2 different people having a conversation with himself. And Luthen gives me those kind of vibes of do I know you? And he'll look straight in your eye and be like, no, you don't know me. And he's he's known you for 30 years, and he'll look you straight in the eye and be like, no, never seen you before. And you fucking believe him. Okiro, how are you getting the same kind of vibes, or is that just me?
I think at this point it's just you. Usually I'm ride or die. I agree with you, but I just think he's Skarsgård. No, but all jokes aside, I think he is someone riddled with guilt. He is burdened with what he has seen the Republic come from, and as truth in reality, he is someone, because I'll say this, Luthen is one of the best characters in Star Wars. He is top 10, one of the best. All Star Wars, Legends, Disney, EU, movies, shows, one of the best. And you can tell, like, whatever he is, Jedi, not Jedi, Senator, he is someone incredibly burdened with what has happened to the New Republic, the Old Republic. And he had two choices. Like, okay, he rebels and dies a martyr. He becomes like Saw Gerrera, or he becomes like Mon Mothra. But no, he found this weird balance, and he knows it. He knows that, like he said, there's no sunrise for him. When the war ends, he'll be dead, because he has given up everything and will continue to give up everything to make sure the rebellion can happen. It's drained him. He's dead, and he is dead inside, because what everyone forgets is, and you can relate this to our real life. You can relate this to the politics of our world now. For actual change, you can't be like Saw Gerrera, going guns blazing, yelling, fighting, killing, screaming. You need to know when you have to fight your battles, and you can't be like Mon Mothra, where you're just almost complacent to a detrimental degree. Luthen is sadly the middle ground of what most wars are built, fought, and died on. Someone who is kind of like this moderate of violence and negotiation. And they usually don't get to see the end. They usually die, and if they do get to see the end, they are completely dead inside, because the things you have to do as this moderate person, lying, cheating, stealing, it's going to drain everything you have inside, and that's Luthen. It's draining him dry. There is nothing left of him. And he said this, he traded his hope, his optimism, he's traded his life.
Yeah. That was such a powerful speech. Any other... So aside from Luthen, any other character moments or character bits stand out for you guys?
I love Binks.
Yes.
I'm going to marry her.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm happy her man... I cheered when her man died. I'm like, yes, there's a chance.
Yeah, he sucked. He sucked. Yep. What do you think's going to happen between Cassie and her? Obviously, they'll come back together.
Oh, she's going to die.
She's going to die. She's going to. It's going to be like, I've always loved you. Yeah, exactly.
She's gonna die. She's hotter than Anakin on Mustafar. She is dead. She is going to die in front of Cassie in the most tragic way possible, and we are going to be sad as hell about it. But she is dead. I see the dead on arrival sign above her head.
To next season. Come on.
Oh yeah, no. Next season they're gonna wait, but she's dead.
Okay.
She's dead. They're gonna kill her tragically.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Got to be the inspiration. Got to Phil Coulson this shit.
Why,
Shelly? What
I mean, we've already talked about Andy Serkis' characters, and he can't swim, and of course we don't actually see what happens to him as all the men are pushing. Does he get pushed off, and does he drown? And we see that I did love favorite scenes. I did love the big pole bird's eye view, the 10,000-foot view of all the prisoners swimming away from the big Imperial symbol that was the prison that could possibly be a component of the Death Star. That was something that was postulated by our guest last time, if I'm not mistaken, but certainly it's making the rounds out there on social. So we may never know.
I'm very curious what's going to happen with B2. And it's really nice to see that side of a droid, like people treating a droid with respect kind of thing, like almost, like, will you stay with me? Yeah. Okay. I'll stay the night. And like that like taking a droid's feelings and stuff into consideration. That's a new direction for Star Wars. We've seen tiny touches of that with some droid rebellions and different things, but not really from the human side of like, let's take care of this poor droid. And I'm very curious if B2, something happens there, and it might be the guts for K2 or something, or there's something. I want that droid to just live happily ever after on a beach somewhere, sipping on the greatest oil money can buy.
They're gonna fry him too. They're gonna.
Fuck.
Tony Gilroy warned us. He's like, "Oh, that's cute. You think anyone's gonna live? I'm gonna murder all of them in front of you." They're all going to Rogue One, and they're going to be posting sad Star Wars pictures of them all getting fried, because that's
crispy.
That's Star Wars.
Teriyaki style, crispy.
Do not want, but I know it's going to happen.
Hashtag do not want.
The big question, fellas, before we wrap up, how do you think this is going to end? Obviously, Andor is going to be alive to make it to the next season and to make it to Rogue One.
You think?
What's going to be the big tie at the end of this? Is the sister coming back? Are they going to wrap that storyline up? Are they saving that for further seasons? Like what do you think the arc of this last episode is going to be? Okiro, let's let you lead this one off again.
Since the first arc of the season was between Cassian and his kidnapping mother, I'm pretty sure they're going to tie that she did. She's like, "You're mine now."
Straight up.
Angelina Jolie
the kid.
She Angelina Jolie the kid.
Jeez.
Hey, the Jedi did not kidnap kid. I will fight anyone who says that.
Sooner than
that's all the Jedi did. They kidnapped infants like it was lunch.
They kidnapped. They're like, "Hey, do you want your kid to be a space wizard? Okay, come here.
Hey, here's $50. Go get it. We got the kid. Let's yoink."
Well, at least that was like a bit of parental consent. This was just like straight up like,
credits.
Right. Hey, what's going on? Can you speak our language? No, it doesn't matter. You're unconscious. Now we're stealing you off a planet.
Bonk. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We need child labor. It's cheap and free, and you have tiny hands.
Oh, come on. We're just like Apple now.
Jesus.
But yeah, I think Kyra's not gonna get a fifth time on here now.
But yeah, shut down my fucking MacBook. I won't be able to send you the invite.
It's like
I'm not gonna be able to text anymore. I own an iPhone, but yeah,
my iPhone says self-destruct. Why?
Oh no!
Oh god! Why does my iPhone say there's a gas leak? No, but I do think the season is going to come full circle where the relationship between Cass and his mother is going to be integral to wrapping up his arc for this season, because it began there. That's the first arc. Episode 1, 2, and 3 is the arc that culminates on how we got to the Cass and we have now. So it's probably going to go full circle, because Star Wars, they love the bookends.
They are very much into circles.
Yes.
Circle gets the square.
Charlie, where do you think it's going?
Well, there's no doubt it's going to be, and hopefully be handled better than the kind of the, CGI gasm that was the end of the Book of Boba Fett with the Rancor and the stuff and the guy spinning around and all this. But it's going to be a big blowout shootout of some variety. If we're going to get the combination of Saw's people with Luthien coming in, if the sister's coming back, who's going to live, who's going to die. Luthien could die, or he could die as an inspiration to Cassian to take up the mantle as the intelligence agents, because that intelligent agent, which is where we see him obviously in Rogue One. Whatever is going to happen in his final episode is going to set him along that path, and as we've said, it will probably be littered with at least 2 deaths. Could be Luthien. It's going to be it's going to be Bix and the "I love you" funk, and she's going to get shot in the head or some such. Exactly. And he'll go no, and classic, some variety, and then other people, the sister's arc, the sister's girlfriend, who's already on the planet. I'm sure she's done for. So anyway, I'm expecting a lot of martyrish kind of deaths that would be like "avenge me" kind of scenario going down. But unlike the Book of Boba Fett, it'll be plausible and not stupid. So
listen, I will give the Book of Boba Fett this. I'll give the Book of Boba Fett this. It has a banger theme.
Hell yeah.
That is just a bang. I listen to that at the gym. The bum 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 fat. I fucking love that.
When that came up in the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation, I was just like, yep. There's no way they could, they wrote that around just fitting that theme song in somewhere. It is so good. Yeah, shit. I hope he shows up in the next season of Mando. As because I think it almost like it'd be good for him, for Boba Fett to have an arc like Din did in the Book of Boba Fett. Those, the Mando episodes in the Book of Boba Fett were fantastic, and I'd love to see just that little snippet from hey, here's what Boba Fett's up to, and it's awesome. And now we're back to Mando.
Hey,
That'll be great.
Boba was great in Mando's show. He was great, so just put him in there, which is kind of funny.
Right. It is. It's like it reminds me of the the Simpsons spin-off Spectacular. The Love-Matic Grandpa and the Chief Wiggum and Chief Wiggum PI and
I would actually watch that if they put it back.
Yeah. For me, I'm really wondering where this is going to end. And I'm curious to see who they'll hold on to and kill off next season. Because next season, it's like every couple of episodes or something is jumping a year, where this whole season took place over a year, right? Yeah. Like the next one jumps several years instead of one. So I'm wondering
I think
if they'll kill more people next time.
4 years, and every single couple arc is 4 years.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting.
I put all the supporting characters on the block because we know of the people we see in Rogue One. We see Cassian, we see Melshi, we see Saw, we see Mon, and we don't see any of these other people. So
I'm going to put Cassian on the block for season 1. I think he's going to die.
Like I said, and he's just going to. You haven't caught them. You've caught their stunt doubles. He is going to have life model decoy or a droid or his evil twin brother, his good twin brother.
One thing I do hope we get in this finale is Mon kind of taking a stand and finally being like, "I'm out, bitches," and just peace out on her husband and leave her daughter to do what she's gonna do and like fully commit. You know what I mean? And maybe that's Luthen dies and she's like, "I've got to do something. I have to become more." Right, and that's kind of like her origin too.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if that happens tomorrow. Or tonight,
how Mon get her back, dumped her moldy husband and her snotty daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't Andor drop Thursday?
No, tomorrow, Wednesday here in the States.
No,
Wednesday.
Yeah, we April and I get up early, and that's the first thing we do.
Oh, see, for me, I always watch it Thursday. I guess that's why I know what they're talking about when I watch it.
There we go. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, we're looking forward to it either way. Let's start wrapping it up there, guys. Okiro, thank you so much for joining us. It's been too long. We'll have to get you back on before that long of a gap. Because although not with you traveling abroad and doing all these things, maybe we'll have to guest on yours instead. You seem like you're going to be a busy dude for the next little while.
Oh, you guys are going to be the first guest. You were the first podcast I was on, so best believe you're going to be the first guys I have on my podcast.
Excellent.
And we talked about you last episode on episode 50. I don't know if you had a chance to listen or not.
Not
but
yet.
We sang your praises, and basically I said, we have you to thank for the direction of this show. And since you didn't have a chance to listen last time, I'll tell you right now while you're here. This show would not be the same if it wasn't for your guest appearance. You kind of changed everything. You came on, and it was so much fun to talk to someone from the community and you were kind of our first community guest like that, Charlie and I started talking of like, can we do that more? It kind of lit this fire under my ass to be like, we have to reach out to more people. I want to meet more people. I want to talk to more people like this. I want to do this kind of episode where it's kind of more fun and conversational rather than like, here are the 6 comics that came out this week. Let's give them a recap. So thank you specifically for everything this show has been for the last 40 something episodes. This is because of you.
You're making me blush. You're making me blush right now. You can't see it, but I'm turning a light shade of blue.
It's totally that means you're not breathing. I think you need to. You might have an airway blockage.
I'm black. We don't turn pink. That's why I'm black. You guys got to remember my pigmentation's a little different.
Well, right now all we see is a pitch dark screen and what looks like an orange. That's your avatar.
We'll have a picture on there. Again, man, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Please tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you, and all the stuff you're up to.
Every platform, the First of Cairo, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the First of Cairo, the First of Cairo, the First of Cairo. And what I'm up to is a lot of things, but first things first, I'm going to have these guys on for a podcast. So you have a reason to subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to share this video on my channel so my viewers can hear my horrible voice even more.
Not horrible, silky smooth. I will. You always say like you're listening. Your voice is just fantastic, and I can't wait to hear it every single week on your podcast. So thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me.
Softly. Got it. And
Charlism?
As always, yes, you can find me out there just about any social, pretty much Twitter for the time being, at the C3. Go ahead and spell it out. My lovely wife, April, and I run the USS Grand Petoskey. That is the West Michigan chapter of the Star Trek International Fan Club. You can find us on the website of that name and across most socials as well. We've been having a hell of a great time lately on Discord. With our chapter. So our people who have been part of our chapter haven't been finding engagement, have been loving on Discord. We also obviously have one for Secret Friends. So if you are not there, that is where the good stuff is happening. So I bet there'll be a link in the show notes about how you can find that SFU Discord. That's where you want to be at. So yeah,
absolutely.
Mark, how about you? Where people find you at?
You can find me everywhere, almost everywhere. I have to add a little caveat to that now. You can find me almost everywhere as _Canardian, except on Hive, where they don't do underscores in usernames. So I just went at Canardian and got rid of the. So
THE.
Find me there as well. But you can find everything in my on my Twitter profile, and the link tree links to everything else. So find me there or in our Discord.
Yes, indeed. We're loving on Discord these days. Folks, as always, thank you for joining us. I'm going to tell you that sharing is caring, and to keep on trucking.
May the force be with you, Rex. Play us out. There's a little delay that time. I didn't think you were going to sing for us. This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network. Visit secretfriendsunite.com for more great shows, articles, news, reviews, and more. Secret Friends Unite podcasts are available on Apple, Google, Spotify, and other podcast services around the world. If you'd like to be part of the conversation, you can join us on Facebook or our new Discord server, or follow at Secret Friends U on Twitter. Please subscribe to Secret Friends Unite on YouTube and visit our merch store at tpublic.com. Just search Secret Friends Unite. Thanks for listening.